Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Teenage Gamer. Today I'm going to talk about the Nintendo conference and my impressions of it, what happened, what they showed. So we're going to start off with something I actually didn't like about the conference, which was they didn't talk about the Wii pretty much at all, which is kind of weird considering that, Skyward Sword's coming out. Yes, the Wii is dying. I'd say it's dying. It's just not the only good game coming out soon is Skyward Sword. But they didn't talk about it at all, which is kind of odd. Oh, and I guess they have that Kirby game too. But whatever. So I guess that was a little disappointing. They talked about the 25th anniversary of Zelda, which is cool. I'm kind of a new Zelda fan. The first Zelda game I owned was Twilight Princess. And I'd only seen and played bits and pieces here and there. So all those old school Zeldas, I haven't played them, and they don't really interest me that much. But I do like Zelda as of Twilight Princess. I like it. It's a fun game. I have the DS ones and stuff. And then they talked about the 3DS. And the thing that I thought was interesting about their conference is, for me, they made me want to buy a 3DS more than it made me want to buy the next generation Wii, because they have some really great games for the 3DS coming out. And my original plan was to wait for the 3DS with the better battery life and everything, but they're making it hard for me to wait that long. Good lord, they showed off Star Fox, they showed off Mario Kart, Kid Icarus, Luigi's Mansion 2, and Mario 3DS. I think there's one I'm forgetting, but whatever. So what really impressed me was, of all 3DS games they showed off, the multiplayer of Star Fox is crazy awesome, because and while you're playing the game, or while you're playing the multiplayer, just like you see Peppy or Falco's faces in the campaign mode, those faces are now your friends' faces that you're playing against. And I think it's just so cool. Only I found out recently you can only do any of the multiplayer locally, which is really weird, considering that if you were playing locally, you can just look over at your friend and see their reaction. I mean, seeing their face on the TV screen is just a waste. If it was online, yes, then that would be perfect. But considering that they're sitting right next to you, why don't you just look up at them? So, I mean, it's cool, but I just don't see the point. Mario Kart, you can fly. You have those little glider things, and you can go underwater. So that's pretty cool. I like Mario Kart games. They're fun. Then Kid Icarus, it looks like a great game. I think the graphics are the best of any of these games. And it looks really fun. And then they showed off the multiplayer, like 6-on-6, and it's basically a team deathmatch. And that looks really cool, and you get to pick your weapon and stuff like that. When I get a 3DS, I will definitely pick that game up, as well as Star Fox and Mario Kart. Like I said, I'm gonna buy all these games as soon as I get a 3DS. Then they showed Luigi's Mansion 2. That's gonna be cool. I like the first game. I didn't own it, but I played a lot with my friends, and it's a really cool game, and I wonder how it's going to play out on the 3DS. And then they showed Mario 3DS game. That looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks a lot like Mario Galaxy, and it's like sometimes he's moving in a three-dimensional space, sometimes it's side-scroller, and they have the Tatsuniki suit back. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And he can spin around, whack the Goombas and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, they have a ton of good 3DS games coming out. That's awesome. Their launch was bad, but this, holiday season for the 3DS is going to be amazing. And then still talking about the 3DS, but also kind of transitioning into the Wii 2, they subtly announced that Super Smash Bros. Is coming to the 3DS and Wii U. Now, I said in my prediction that they weren't going to do this, but my jaw dropped when they said that. That is by far the most shocking part of this conference for me. I literally stood up and started screaming at my screen because I was so excited. Because think about the 3DS. I mean, like, things pop out at you. And what I think will be the coolest part is when, when you're playing Super Smash Bros. And then somebody dies, sometimes they fly out at the screen and, like, smash into it. That's going to be awesome. Those guys are going to be flying at your face now. That's so cool. And it's also going to be on the Wii 2, and they're going to be compatible with the 2, and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm very excited for the next Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure any Nintendo fan is. Okay, so then that kind of leads into the big announcement, which was the Wii U. So when they showed off the graphics of the new system, I have a really crappy computer, so I didn't really get the full-on chance to see it, because my computer is so crappy. The graphics, to me, they looked barely above the normal Wii. But I've heard that they're so much better. And but the Zelda HD demo that they showed off, that looked really good. That looked like on par with the 360. But again, I don't really, the graphics aren't that important to me. But the thing is that I was hoping that the next generation Nintendo would have, like, oh my god, crazy, ridiculous graphics. Because if you think about it, if it's just on par with the 360 and the PS3, those systems are like 6 years old. So that basically keeps Nintendo where they're at as far as graphics go. If the 360 and the PS3, come out with their next console in 2 years or so. And so I heard it's pretty powerful, though, and it'll be nice to have that much power again. Then they showed off the controller. Well, actually, they barely showed off the actual system itself. It was all about the controller. And the controller is like a touchpad. Basically, if you gotta think of the concept of the Wii U as it's a giant, super-powered DS. And, that's a good thing, because, the DS has a lot of good games. It appeals to the, it appeals to the casual gamer, so that's a good idea. I mean, why not? The DS is like the most successful portable system of all time, so it's a good idea. Why not? It has a big touchscreen, you can use all these different things. It has a built-in mic, so no more headsets. It has its own camera, so you can do, like Skyping and stuff like that, which I think, they should take that concept of Star Fox on the 3DS. And, like, if they make a Star Fox game on the Wii U, why don't they just do the same thing? That's a great idea. And it'd be HD and the whole shebang. And it's really cool because they're keeping the Wiimotes for the next system. So all those Wii peripherals that you have, you don't have to throw them away. Which, is kind of, sort of what we had to do for, what we've had to do in the past, 3 consoles. You get rid of the last controller and start using new ones. But this one, it actually relies quite heavily on the Wiimotes, which is great. And, and another thing about the controller, they said so far that you can only use one per system, which isn't interesting, but maybe one person has the Nintendo pad, as I like to call it, and then another person uses the Wiimote. But, so that's pretty interesting. And, so yeah, my initial reaction to this was that it was kind of like, I didn't understand it. I think that's what it was. I was just disappointed. I was like, wait, really, this is the best you can come up with? But then as I started reading about it, and, hearing about the games that they're making for it, and, like, what the developers think of it, I'm actually pretty excited for it. I mean, I'm a little cautious. I'm not going to buy one on day one. But I'm going to, wait maybe, half a year or something, and see how it grows, and if it turns out good, then yeah, sure, I'll get one. So yeah, that's another thing, talking about the games. They have awesome games lined up. They have Ghost Recon Online, which looks pretty cool. It's a third-person shooter and stuff. They have Assassin's Creed ready. I talked about that in my prediction video, actually, which is interesting. That's going to be awesome. They have Arkham City. Oh my god, that's awesome. Darksiders 2, I wasn't really interested in Darksiders 1, but then I started, I read the Game Informer article, and it actually looks like a pretty interesting game. So I'll check that out. And then I think it was Ubisoft and introduced a new IP called the Killer Freaks from Outer Space. is a first-person shooter and stuff. The trailer they showed had really good graphics. So maybe that's an indication of what the Wii 2 looks like. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird. I don't know. I'll have to try it before I buy it. So what concerns me, though, is the competitors. Because, you know, when I bought the Wii, I was only 12 years old, I think. Then, you know, I was happy with it because I was so happy with the GameCube. As soon as I saw the Wii was going to have motion controls and it's a Nintendo console, I was like, boom, I'm sold. I want that. But then as the years went on, I started look, you know, going to my friends' houses, and they all had Xboxes, and I couldn't interact with my friends online. Not at least, well, yeah, because they never used their Wii's, so I couldn't interact with them online. They were, you know, playing their Halo games from dusk till dawn online, talking to their friends, stuff like that. So I got left out, and like I said in the last video, I really like Halo, so I can't play Halo. So I felt really left out, and so I don't want that to happen again. I want a system that all my friends have. Obviously, if they don't have it, I can't connect to them, and you know, that we'll all play online games together and stuff. So that's one thing I'm really concerned about, and I guess that I'll just have to wait and see what my friends think of it, and I want to know what you guys think. About the new console. I'm a little nervous about it, but hopefully it turns out great. Hopefully maybe it's a system that everyone will buy, and then maybe people get sick of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 720 being. I'm betting that they're going to be pretty similar to the current generation because they're pretty powerful already. I mean, how much more powerful can you get? And especially the PlayStation 3. Those graphics are like, how can you get any better than that? So yeah, just post what you think in the comments section below. Like it, subscribe, and yeah, this has been the 3rd episode of the Teenage Gamer. I hope to talk to you guys later. Have fun. Oh wait, sorry, one last note. I've been playing Monster Hunter a lot lately, so if you guys want to exchange Monster Hunter codes or whatever, I'll be down for that. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.